Guys, Ibrahim, beautiful Saturday. The weather is fantastic out here, man. But I've been trying to catch up, get a few things done and everything. But it is important that I talk to you guys, And I did a live on TikTok for the very first time. So ironically, I kind of have that, screen recorded and have it, on my Facebook page. I think I put it on YouTube as well. But of course, not everybody who's on TikTok is on Facebook, and a lot of you guys know, that I do most of my presentations on Facebook, not and YouTube, and not so much on TikTok. But I'm trying to get around because it's a lot of platforms to deal with. But the reality is, I kind of lost touch because I didn't know everybody. Almost everybody has moved to TikTok. That is, and believe it or not, even your politicians and some of the people you think will not be on those platforms, they're there. They're on that TikTok platform. Yes, so a lot of them have moved over there. But I'll continue to stay on Facebook, YouTube, and time to time, of course, I'll be posting on TikTok as well. Because I feel like at some point, everybody in TikTok is gonna come back wanting to Facebook and YouTube, anyways, regardless, right? Because you all know the controversy surrounding TikTok. But what I really want to talk about, as you've seen the title of my live here, and this goes back to me just piggybacking on the last live that I did, and I talked about the fact that Yaya Jammeh was removed from the Gambia. It was given 1 month. If he didn't hand over power in 1 month, they were going to send the troops in, to get him kicked out, right? So now my message from that is we're going to escalate now. It's escalation time when it comes to the whole fight of electoral justice. Because what I want to make bare, and I know a lot of Sierra Leoneans understand this, it is the fact that when you look at what is actually happening in the electoral justice fight, there are stratas to this fight, meaning there are different segments, that we're dealing with within the electoral justice fight. Because electoral justice in itself is never going to be time bound. As a whole, we have a responsibility to protect democracy, right? It is not going to be time bound. There's always going to be issues in a democracy. We're going to fix them. We're going to work on getting them fixed and everything. But when it comes to the presidency of Dr. Samora Kamara, I think that is a separate beast in itself that we have to address. And that is what I'm focusing on. When I'm talking about this live right now, right here, what I'm focusing on, and I want everybody to understand this, it is the presidency of Dr. Samora Kamara. It is does not have to do with the future, the infinite, amount of time we have to deal with electoral justice in itself. We're going to continue fighting for people's rights to vote, right? Yeah. We're going to make sure we continue to protect citizens' rights to participate in a democracy. We're going to continue to call out civil society organizations to engage, in help assist our people, in times of difficulties within our democratic institutions and struggles that we have. But I'm focusing on Dr. Samora Kamara's presidency because, again, we're very proud in Sierra Leone, and Sierra Leoneans across the world are proud to have somebody like Dr. Samora Kamara who has stood the test of time to say, yes, there are good politicians in Africa. And Sierra Leone has that one person who has stood up and said, you know what? In as much as I want peace in my country, but my presidency should be given to me. Because Dr. Samora Kamara's personality is not the violent type. You guys have seen videos lately of Julius Maada back in the day towards the elections, right? 2018, 2012, making all kinds of, claims. And it's his rights, making all these threats that he's ready. This country is going to erupt, rigged elections, it's going to lead to war. Those were all tough talk. And I don't expect anything less because we believe in democracy. So it is the same rights that Julius Maada had then, it is the same rights that we have now. And that is the point I want to make to you all. And that is what I want every other Sierra Leonean to understand. Julius Maada did not commit a crime when he spoke the way he spoke. That was his right to speak the way he did. And it's the same right we have now to call for the forceful removal of Julius Maada because, like he said, rigged elections lead to war. It's been 2 years, we've been patient. A lot of my brothers and sisters, rightfully so, have lost faith in the process. They have not lost faith in democracy, but they have lost faith in the fact that Dr. Samura Kamara might never see his presidency, even though he has taken the position that he has taken. And this is very crucial, and this is very important. And this is why I want to get to the next stage in this fight, where it's about escalation now. It's escalation. Because after 2 years, 1 month, and over 13 days later, there is no way Julius Maada should be in power. We were patient with the Agreement for National Unity. We were patient. The tripartite report came out. It's been 2 years since the elections. Till this day, we don't have the disaggregated data. It is an affront to people like myself that are democratic fighters, that we believe in democracy, because we know if we practice proper democracy, Sierra Leone would see the kinds of developments other countries have seen, like the Singapore and all these other countries, which is why we're fighting the good fight, which is why we're standing by Dr. Zamora Kamara. So it's time now to escalate, because people are losing faith in the system. People are losing faith in the process. There is an ongoing political transition. That is a very key word. Everybody knows that word now. Ongoing political transition. What does that mean? It means we're in the process of handing over power from one person to the other. And in this case, we're looking at Julius Maada handing over power to Dr. Zamora Kamara. Now, Julius Maada was recently giving the position of chairman of the Authority of Heads of States of West Africa, meaning of all the West African presidents, he is the chairman. As I'm speaking to you right now, is between Togo and this other country, Gabon, I think. But I know for a fact that he was in Togo. He's probably in Togo right now, as I'm speaking to you. Traveling, right? Rampantly, does not care about what is actually happening in the country. People are suffering, people are dying. I mean, it's a reality of what is actually happening, but he gives a crap about these folks. All these guys do is talk big talk all day. But we are focused on the fact that we have to call now on UNOWAS and ECOWAS to come together and do the right thing in Sierra Leone, like they did in the Gambia, Banjul, Yaya Jammeh, when he did not want to hand over power. Dr. Samura Kamara should take this fight now to the next step. I think diplomacy is over. We've done with diplomacy. We've tried diplomacy. 2 years later, nothing to show. Enough is enough. They said Julius Maada has failed repeatedly on numerous occasions to hand over power to Dr. Samura Kamara. That is what we've heard. They say they have a secret transition document that has been signed. We don't care because we don't know about that document. We've never seen it. But people close to Dr. Samura Kamara have been saying there is a transition document in place. And therefore, we are asking to say, hey, what's going on? We want to know, where are we? Because again, Dr. Samura Kamara's presidency is time bound, and that is very important. And that is what I want you guys to understand in this fight for electoral justice. Electoral justice is an infinite fight. It would never end. The only way it ends is if every one of us are dead and gone from planet Earth. But for as long as we're alive, the fight for electoral justice is a reality. It's going to happen. But right now, the presidency of Dr. Samura Kamara is key. It is important. That is our focus. And that is what I'm talking about. And that is why it's about time for ECOWAS and UNOWAS. Let us stop the kids' play. Let us stop the child's play. Enough is enough. Dr. Samura Kamara, it's time to step it up now. You've done everything you should, being very, very, very patient with this process. We applaud you. The world applauds you. We know it's not easy to take the position that you've taken. But at this point, where we're going now, we cannot continue till the end of this year, and people are sitting there hoping that Julius Maada is going to hand over power. It is very clear that he's not going to hand over power peacefully. He's not going to follow your transition pattern or the plans that you guys have for the transition. So I think it's time for Dr. Samura Kamara to escalate this matter. I don't think it's time to sit by anymore just hoping something is going to happen, because we know if you're only hoping that Julius Maada is going to hand over power, he's not going to hand over power. This guy is going to stay in power. The SLPP, they've already concluded their local, conventions and all of that. They've picked their executives. We see the same rebels. I'm not even ready to talk about all of that yet. We've seen the same people that were the RUF, the Kamajors, are the ones that are in the executives of the SLPP. We're not scared of them. We're not worried about them. They're not a problem. We can take care of those people at any time. But the reality is, as it is right now, our focus is the fight for electoral justice, specifically the presidency of Dr. Samura Kamara. This is a very simple fight. It is very simple. We believe in democracy. We have faith in democracy. We're going to stand by democracy, and we want to make sure the right thing is done in Sierra Leone. That is why people like myself are on social media. This is why we fight. This is why we advocate. And therefore, we are asking Dr. Samora Kamara at this point in time, 2 years, 1 month, and about 14 days now. Enough is enough. What is the next step? We have to escalate this case. This case deserves escalation now. We want to bring an end to this madness. It is enough of the foolishness. If Julius Maada is not going to hand over power peacefully, let us do what is supposed to be done. Let you ECOWAS and UNOWAS, just like the Gambians were prepared to deploy troops in Sierra Leone in September last year, and that case went cold. Nobody knows what happened. They've not spoken to us. Nobody has informed us what the reality is. We don't know what is happening, and we want to know. Democracy is a process where the people own it. We cannot be hiding realities and the facts from the people. The moment you start hiding in a democracy from the people, it is flawed. The process itself is going to be flawed. It's going to be marred. This is not talking about government operations where certain, things are going to be secret, right? I have access to all kinds of information. I know exactly what secret is, what top secret is, and all of that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying and what we're pointing out to Sierra Leoneans, it is the fact that enough is enough of the buffoonery. If Marabio is not going to hand over power peacefully, I think it's about time Dr. Zamora Kamara, in a speech to the world now, call, because Dr. Kamara has made it very clear. He said if he's tired to fight this fight, he's going to come tell us. And we appreciate that. But when is he going to tell us? Is it 5 years from 2 years from now? Is it in 2028? Is it in 2027? We care about his presidency. We want him to be there. We don't want to see a situation where somebody did not win an elections and he continues to stay in power. That is not correct. And just like Julius Maada said, rigged elections lead to war. Well, we Sierra Leoneans don't want to go to war. We've seen what war does. Ali Kaba is still free today in Sierra Leone. Him and Charles Taylor went to the Mataba in Libya to start the revolutions. Ali Kaba started in Sierra Leone. Charles Taylor started in Liberia. Today, Charles Taylor is in jail. Ali Kaba is free. Why? Because Anesbai Koroma, when he had the opportunity to prosecute Ali Kaba for all the families that lost their lives, Anes Koroma did not do it. Just like it did not do it the same with this same Julius Maada, who was responsible for the death of people like Bambe Kamara. Anes Koroma had an opportunity to give justice to the families of Bambe Kamara, Yaya Kanu, what's the name of this lady? All of these other people, they were massacred and killed by the NPRC. And Escoroma had an opportunity to give them justice. He failed. He said he wants peace. Mr. Peace, Mr. Peace, Mr. Peace. Look at him today, he's in exile, banished from his own country. And he still has not been able to sum up the gumption and the courage to stand up against Bio, even though he's in exile. He is silent. He has decided to zip up his mouth and shut up, and he's not saying anything to anybody. But these are the kinds of people we have because they've taken Sierra Leoneans for granted. They don't respect the people. One thing about Sierra Leonean politicians, I don't care from what level you look at them, from the lowest all the way through, they don't care about Sierra Leoneans. They don't respect Sierra Leoneans because Sierra Leoneans have not put themselves in a position to be respected, except for the few of us. And this is why civic education is key. And we continue to speak and educate and sensitize, give the people the education that they need to be able to stand up to these crooked people. Because until they respect the citizens of Sierra Leone is going to be doomed. When you look at countries like Liberia, Kenya, Ghana, these are countries where the governments respect their citizens. They don't play because they know, right, they can be crushed. They know the people can stand up against them. But in Sierra Leone today, everybody is aristocratic. Nobody wants to stand up anymore because the leaders of the opposition, they were supposed to lead the people to stand up against Bio, are now in line with Bio, and they are working towards having a one-party state system. And we all know how a one-party state system ends. It ends in war because some people, just like Paul Kagame, the Tutsis did not sit by in Congo and say, we're going to allow ourselves to stay in exile forever. They decided to march into their country, capital city, and take over. It can happen, and it will happen in Sierra Leone if these guys are forging a path to one-party state system. Because there are Sierra Leoneans that are not going to tolerate that. There are millions of Sierra Leoneans that will not accept that, and will be ready to take up arms against the state and clean up these people that are responsible for the destruction of our country. But again, it has gotten to the point where I think it's enough. Dr. Samura Kamara, it's escalation now. Let's escalate this matter. Everybody knows now that Marabi is not going to hand over power peacefully. It is us. We have a responsibility. Dr. Makama is leading us. We thank you for leading us in this fight because you could have given up too. I mean, the worst people can do is just maybe start abusing you, right? But otherwise, you could have given up and say, enough is enough, I'm done. But you've stood your ground. The fact of this matter is this: it is time bound. Time is of the essence. We have to know when is Julius Maada going to hand over power to you. We have to know these facts. Otherwise, it is foolish of us to be sitting here and acting like we're just praying to God and we're having faith. It is absolute foolishness. Nations don't move just because people have faith. Nations move, become developed because faith without works is dead. We cannot just have faith and we're not doing the work. Enough is enough. Singapore is not where it's today as a first world nation in this, 21st century, as one of the most advanced nations in the world because the people had faith. Yes, it came with faith, but the faith was backed up by works. It was backed up by the work of the people. The people worked towards it. And therefore, at this point in time, enough of the faith talk, enough of we have faith in God and have faith in God. We always have faith in God. We've always had faith in God. Sierra Leoneans are very religious people. We are very religious tolerant. We've always had faith in God and we believe in the Almighty God that we serve. We believe in Allah. We believe in Him. However, if you don't help yourself, Allah or God is not going to help you. So it's time for Dr. Samura Kamara now to escalate this battle. We have to close this chapter of his presidency because electoral justice fight is a fight that's going to last forever. But when it comes to his presidency, it is time bound. Julius Maada has been in power for 2 years now, 1 month and 13 days. Enough is enough. When are we going to escalate for ECOWAS and UNOWAS to bring in troops to swoop in and get rid of Marabio and restore you as the president, Dr. Samara Kamara? That is the fundamental question we have to ask. Enough of this. Enough of this. Enough of this. We have to get to that point where the right thing should be done. It is a democracy. The people vote. The Constitution makes it very clear. Section 5, subsection 2. It says sovereignty through this Constitution. Sovereignty belongs to the people. The government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. And I think that is crucial. Marabio, the parliament, lack the legitimacy, they lack the authority, and they lack the power because it was not given to them by the people. They stole the mandate of the people. And now they're talking about having a one-party state system. They're talking about sharing power. One, SLPP knows they will never come to power again in Sierra Leone. Secondly, they know that because they will never come to power in Sierra Leone again, they always want to have a stake and a fair share in the democratic process. They would always have their democratic right, but they would never win another elections in Sierra Leone because the people of Sierra Leone, for generations yet unborn, now know what the SLPP stands for. In 1996 to 2002, they damaged that country. They damaged that country heavily. But Sierra Leoneans were able to move past that. And so they've come back again to do the same thing, and they've done worse this time. But the beautiful thing is, this is the fourth industrial revolution. Social media, technology is there now. We can save the evidence. We can provide the evidence at any time that we want to. And that is the reality that what is happening. Therefore, I'm calling Dr. Samura Kamara. I think enough is enough. Let's escalate now. You've been patient. You've been very kind. Nobody wants to die. We don't want you to pull the people out to protest. No, because we know that they shoot them. However, we still have the Constitution. And Section 26 in the Constitution makes it very clear that every citizen shall enjoy their protections to their freedoms of assembly and association. But today in Sierra Leone, protest is a crime. And we see it across Africa. Democracy is dying. Democracies are dying. Look at what is happening across the world, even in the United States. We saw the video of Mehdi Hassan, where he was surrounded by 20 far-right folks. Some of them said, we don't want you to be here. Some of them said, we don't want democracy. We want autocracy. We want dictators. We want totalitarian states. These are privileged kids that have never experienced what the people of Sierra Leone are experiencing. So they don't know what it's like to have a one-party state system because they think it's going to favor them. But democracies are being threatened across the world, and Africa has seen a fair share in the rise of dictatorial tendencies. We see it in East Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, even the lady in Tanzania is just as terrible as some of the men within the East African region. Uganda, we've seen Museveni has been there forever. Bobby Wine has been trying and fighting to emancipate his people, Uganda. The people of Uganda know that they want Bobby Wine as president. They voted for him as president, but Museveni has always rigged the elections. Is that what we're going to allow to happen in Sierra Leone? Because Barabio is taking the pattern, is taking the playbook from these guys. Therefore, this is why it's time now for Dr. Samura Kamara to escalate this matter so we can have a forceful removal of Julius Maada. ECOWAS, UNOWAS, where are you? Where are the troops that were put together by Gambia for Gambia to come and stabilize the democracy? It's about time. We saw it in Gambia when they were ready to remove. Again, if you go back to my previous live, you will see what I'm talking about. Look at those videos. You'll see the videos are there. How the international community, with one word, everybody said, we're going to give him 1 month. If it does not hand over power, we're going to remove him. That is what we're asking for. Guys, we're not asking for a lot. We're not asking for a lot. It's simple what we're asking for. And therefore, that is why I said to you all, regardless of what it is, we have to ask Dr. Samora Kamara now. It's about time. Let's escalate this. The fight for his presidency is time bound. Time is of the essence. And we cannot continue to play this game with Julius Maada if he does not want to hand over power peacefully. It's about time he is removed. Because what this guy is doing is just, it keeps buying time. And that is unfortunate. We should not tolerate that. We should not accept that. It is a reality. It is a reality. So therefore, I'm asking everybody, why don't we pay attention to what is actually happening? Why don't we say enough is enough? Why don't we do the right thing? Let's bring this matter to a conclusion, a logical conclusion. For the naysayers, the unbelievers now, the folks that don't have, trust and faith, the people that are losing faith in the system, the people that are disenfranchised across the country, just telling them to be patient is not going to solve that problem anymore. We want to see tangible actions. We want to see now that our troops are ready. They are on standby, surrounding the borders of Sierra Leone, waiting to come into the country now to remove Marabio. We want to hear an ultimatum has been given to Marabio. Where is the ultimatum that has been given to Marabio to say, if you don't hand over power, in 2 days from today, we're going to remove you forcefully? Until I see those evidences now, I'm going to tell Sierra Leoneans, let us continue to stay hopeful and hold on. But until I see those evidences, I think it's a child's play. That's what we're on. And I don't think that's what Sierra Leoneans want to do. That is not what we want to see. We don't want to be engaged in the child's play. We don't want to be engaged in this joke if we're just going to sit by and we're not seeing actions. We're not seeing nothing around us. We don't see troops surrounding the borders of Sierra Leone. We don't see ECOWAS troops surrounding the borders of Sierra Leone, waiting for the command to say moving and remove Marabio. Until we see those kinds of activities now, we're not losing faith in Dr. Samora Kamara, but we are saying that something is fundamentally wrong somewhere. We are not a bunch of stupid people. Sierra Leoneans are very intelligent. And that is why I'm calling on every Sierra Leonean now. What we should look for are these signs. Are there troops surrounding Sierra Leone's border, prepared and ready to deploy at a moment's notice to remove Julius Maada? If that is not happening, then where is the presidency of Dr. Samora Kamara? How are we going to get him to be the president of Sierra Leone? These are the fundamental facts that at least Sierra Leoneans should pay attention to. And this is why I want to call your attention to say, enough is enough, and it's time for us to escalate this matter. If it's obvious that Julius Maada is not going to hand over power to Samora Kamara peacefully, that is the key word, peacefully. He's not going to do it peacefully. And if he's not going to do it peacefully, then I think it's time for us to do the right thing and call on ECOWAS and UNOWAS and call on the international partners to say enough is enough. Let's get rid of Marabio now. Let's remove him. So what I want to see moving forward, what I want to hear about moving forward is that the troops are on standby. Again, like I said, the case went cold. We haven't heard anything since last year, September. We know that the Gambians were prepared to move into Sierra Leone. What happened? We don't know. We don't know. And we want to know what happened. So if we don't see there are troops now on standby, waiting to be deployed into Sierra Leone to remove Marabio, if we don't hear an ultimatum from ECOWAS, an ultimatum from UNOWAS, from our international partners, if Marabio is not given an ultimatum, then we are on a fool's errand, Dr. Samora Kamara. We're on a fool's errand to get your presidency back. And we're not going to tolerate that. We've been patient enough. 2 years, we've been patient. We've been waiting. We say, okay, we don't want to have a disaster in a country. We say, okay, we don't want to have another brutal fight. We don't want nobody to lose their lives. We were patient. We've been patient. It's 2 years, 1 month and 13 or 14 days now. We've been waiting for the moment where the democracy itself would stand the test of time to say that, yes, the power of the people is bigger than those who are in power. But today, a few folks in Sierra Leone are controlling and dominating the rest of Sierra Leoneans, going against our wish and our desire. Mohamed Kanawe Kone rigged that elections. He has now resigned his position as ECSL commissioner. We don't know what is his plan. We don't know where he's going. Now there's an acting, ECSL commissioner. Edmond Alpha is his name. These guys are there. They continue to saturate our system. You see what is actually happening within the country. We are patient. I don't talk to these APC flag bearers now and this and that. You guys see, I don't even pay attention to them anymore. I'm happy my brothers and sisters are attacking them, but I don't, because I know they are irrelevant. And they are irrelevant until Dr. Samora Kamara gets his presidency. That is why my focus, I'm zoomed in. I'm zoomed in. I'm right here, right now. I'm zoomed in on Dr. Samora Kamara's presidency. Enough is enough of this fool's errand. We're not going to run this game and we're not going to play this game anymore. If Marabio is not going to hand over power peacefully, which is established, everybody knows now that Marabio is not going to hand over power peacefully. When are we going to have troops surrounding Sierra Leone, the borders of Sierra Leone, waiting for that command, for the command to say, move in and remove Julius Maada? What are we waiting for? If I don't hear that, I don't hear ultimatums. Misalon people learn from this point on, I know you read and don't give Maada an ultimatum for say, you for hand over power within 1 week, you for hand over power within 2 days. If I not see that ultimatum day, we're on a fool's mission. When I share this with me, people across that country, and Dr. Suma Kamara has to step his game up so we can call these guys out for who they are, including the ECOWAS, the UNOWAS. Enough is enough of this nonsense. We want our victory. We want a democracy to be a thriving democracy. America, 230 plus years later, now the democracy is kind of threatened. But because the institutions have been built and the institutions are there to protect the system, it is tough for the guys that want to have a one-party state system in America. It's not going to be possible. But in Sierra Leone, 60 years later, there is no excuse for us not to be where we should be today. A 60-year-old man who's still making excuses. A 60-year-old man who still stays at home with his mom and dad when probably they're already dead at this point. Because at 60, if your parents are alive, they're probably in their hundreds now. Oh, maybe depending on how young they were when they had you, because it could be a 20-year gap or 18-year gap. So again, but at 60, if you're still staying with your parents, you have a problem. You're not epileptic, you're not sick, you're not artistic, and you're still staying with your parents. Sierra Leone has everything it takes. We're still dependent on foreign donors today. These guys are beggars. Why should we, with everything that we have? Dr. Samura Kamara is God sent. He's the man that God has given to Sierra Leone to emancipate and free our people. He's been in the process. He knows the system. We know that people like Dr. Samura Kamara will do what is right to get Sierra Leone out of this shameful mess that we're in. I saw videos from Triple A, the guy who does those videos and visits communities. Look him up on YouTube, Triple A. That guy showed that Mowaf area when the rain was pouring down. You see the communities, you see how nasty those places are. And that is the life our people are living. Some of us don't believe in that. Because we should be expanding, building houses for our people, giving them great communities, let them live like human beings and not with pigs and dogs. Look at our brothers and sisters on Kush, out in the streets, homeless. They have no hope. Julius Maada is busy flying all over the place, and he is illegally occupying the presidency. And we are sitting by and watching this man, the same man who said rigged elections lead to war. Well, enough is enough. It's 2 years later, Dr. Sumar Kamara. Enough is enough. We're finished. We're fed up with this absolute bullcrap and nonsense. It's about time. And if we don't see escalations, if we don't see ultimatums, documents, word, interviews, videos, like we saw with the case of Yaya Jammeh, everybody was saying enough is enough. We're giving you 1 month, Yaya Jammeh. If you don't hand over power in 1 month, we're going to remove you forcefully. If I don't see those kinds of conversations moving forward, this is a fool's errand. It doesn't mean we're giving up now. We're not to give up. Salon people, we're not to give up on democracy. We want to keep fighting. We're going to keep standing up for democracy because it's the right thing to do. Till the last day, we're going to keep standing up for it. But I'm saying it's time bound. Time is of the essence. Dr. Suma Kamara has been patient. We have been patient. The people of Sierra Leone have been patient. Enough is enough. When is this foolishness go for end? When this foolishness end, that is where we are. And that is why I still have talked to her today. I'm going to leave it here, but I'll read some of the comments. Uh, Let me see. Um, I see Janet Johnson, sorry. Janet say, Bo, sir, tell you Samara make a come talk, Bo. Um, I don't know side Jenny day, but it is what it is. But it's always okay to ask fundamental questions. Lamindeke, thank you, my brother. You always come through, Lamin. I hope everything is all right with you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. You know, but yes, we have a responsibility to make sure that we protect and preserve this democracy. It's worth it. That we're gonna stand with a democracy. We've been patient, yeah. Patient na the key, Salon people. We don't patient for 2 years. I know you'll get some idiots out there saying, man, they mislead the people, they mislead the people. No, some of these people, now the same people, if you ask them, say, come up for camp protest, they see them. You will not see them. But they are talking about misleading. When Dr. Suma Kamara and others take the route, the peaceful route, say we don't want to see bloodshed anymore. Because the right thing to be done was that moment where APC and Dr. Suma Kamara and everybody else should not have even negotiated with Marabiu. As APC should have brought themselves out, lead the protest, the executives from the NAC level and as Kromare all for uncommon at it. Can they in front of the protest to protest with the people to say we don't accept this? Marabiu not for the power. So we patient 2 years. You go get them stupid fools that will tell you that, when I've been misleading people over 2 years now, then they can't talk about say they're for handover power. I know even possible. Well, I tell you, it's possible. It can be done. But the fact of the matter is, now the actions of Dr. Suma Kamara, and I go prove say it can be done. So it's about time we escalate now. Enough is enough. When are we going to have this transition here for take place that our country did? I think that is the fundamental question. And Sierra Leoneans are demanding an answer to this. Enough is enough of the nonsense and the foolishness, and let we get rid of Julius Maada. Because this is self knows where you rig election, it can lead to war. That is a fundamental fact. So let's continue to be patient. But how much more patient? I don't know. We want a presidency. The people voted. They wake in the morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Some man in the line, 8 o'clock in the net. Then they up for count the votes. Then they count 1, 2. That is democracy. That is the power of the people at play. And we're going to allow the system to work. Sierra Leone get forget elections where they be free and fair from zero to pay rape. It's gonna be it get for happy in that country. We forget election where the people for go vote. Let the people them vote count. That is what we're asking for. We are civilized human beings. We're not barbarians. We're not animals. We're not uncivilized. We're not uncouth. We are not nasty people. We live in a society where we should be structured and be formed. That is what we should do. So for everybody when they come now, anybody when they come up in a foolish man, stupid self, and they can't tell me for say, when I mean mislead the people. And these are the stupid idiots in society. All they want for see is people dying senselessly. They want for see chaos and confusion all the time. So when we exercise patience, though, they're not waiting at patience. I'm the kind of person who gets patience by what I do. I'm very strategic. And by the way, kudos and thank you to all who don't give me feedback. When I know say there's that case ongoing with that guy who owe me $25,000. That is going on. When I steady, okay, for that thing for the next 5-10 years, I own that guy. So that is not a problem. But the fact is in Sierra Leone as it is right now, I care for Samurai and presidency. But I'm very strategic. I'm very conscious with what I'm doing. And we're gonna make sure we take care of this with democracy. So moving forward, I want to see again every one of you that are watching this. What do you want to see now? One, the ultimatum. Where is the ultimatum? Either in a video form, in a letter form, a communique of some sort, a memorandum of some sort, where the give Marabi an ultimatum say you for hand over power to Dr. Samar Kamara. If that is not present, what are we doing? That's the question now. Or we foresee troops now don't surround Sierra Leone on standby. A video again, a memorandum of some sort for inform we about these decisions. Military, they are on standby now across and around the borders of Sierra Leone, just like the Senegalese, the troops were on standby ready for swooping to the Gambia. We don't give Jammeh 1 month. It is the same thing that I want to see. Now, one see now. Troops don't surround the country for come and remove Marabio forcefully. Otherwise, what are we doing? All right. So let's continue to hold faith. Democracy works. Democracy is a powerful tool, and with democracy, we go fix the country. We just need leaders. We could come and determine for say we can uplift people from poverty. Sierra Leone is a very powerful country, and we could do the right thing, and we can change it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna leave it right here, guys. But thank you so much. Um, and we would take it from there. Um, I don't mix this live with any other topic. I'm gonna stay focused, all right? But Lamin and all my other brothers and sisters, thank you for joining me, and I'll leave it right here. Bye bye, everybody. Have a beautiful Saturday, okay? I didn't mix the message now. I'll go for come back and do another message, about anything else that is very paramount. But for right now, my focus is on the presidency of Dr. Sabura Kamara. That is it, all right? Because when that happens, the drug case that we have with Boleos and this and that, Boleos, where might you go? Boleos not a sit on us alone. I don't care. We know what Team Boleos they do. Boleos in convoy. Like I said, I'm not gonna even talk about that. It's not even necessary at this point. All right. All right. Thank you, bye guys. Bye bye everybody.